Previously in Starlight Exodus.
Over here! The guard dog!
Lying in bed in the space clinic, Bogart opened his eyes, his head throbbing from the wounds of confrontation. The sterile smell of antiseptics filled his nostrils, and the soft hum of medical equipment was the only sound. As his vision cleared, he saw Harris standing beside him, a stern look on his face.
"Bogart, are you awake?"
Harris asked, leaning closer.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Bogart groaned, trying to sit up. Harris pulled up a chair and sat down, his eyes boring into Bogart's.
"What happened back there? I need answers."
Bogart sighed, rubbing his temples.
The two young intruders. I saw them. They were sneaking around the cargo area.
"What? Why didn't you report it earlier?"
Harris's voice was sharp. Bogart looked down, guilt washing over him.
Sorry, Chief. I thought I could catch them myself. Didn't want to look incompetent.
Harris shook his head, frustration evident.
"All right, we've got to catch them together with the robotic guard dog. These youngsters are sneaky. If the plane's chief captain finds out, we could lose our jobs."
Harris gathered his men, briefing them on the plan.
"We'll use thermal scopes and sleeping gas to catch them silently. No one makes a move until we're sure of their position."
Gene and Simon were in the cabin hold area, unaware of the trap being set. The robotic guard dog, though aware of its surroundings, was powerless to prevent what was coming. The sleeping gas filled the hold, and within minutes, Gene and Simon were unconscious, and the robo-dog were captured. When they woke, they found themselves face to face with Harris. His expression was unreadable as he looked at the two boys.
"You've caused quite a stir. Do you know what kind of trouble you're in?"
Harris began. Gene and Simon exchanged nervous glances, but remained silent. Gene asked,
"Where's the robo-dog?"
Harris sighed.
"We're going to dismantle that robotic guard dog. It's a security risk now after what it did to one of my men."
"No, please don't."
Gene exclaimed, his voice filled with despair. Simon's eyes welled up with tears.
"Will we be sent back to Earth?"
He asked, his voice trembling. Harris shook his head.
"Of course not. We're already near Mars. We'll let you disembark this plane silently."
As the boys absorbed this news, Harris continued, his tone softening.
"Tell me your story. Why are you here?"
Gene took a deep breath and began to recount their journey, from their initial plan to escape a ruined Earth to their desperate attempt to find a new home on Mars. Simon added details, their voices weaving a tale of hope and determination. Harris listened intently, nodding occasionally. When they finished, he stood and pulled out his communicator.
"Look, Lieutenant White, we have a situation. People are smuggling passengers in the space agency. Double the security checkpoints."
He ended the call and turned back to the boys.
"You'll stay in the space cargo hold until we arrive on Mars. It's the best I can do for you."
Gene and Simon nodded, relief mixed with anxiety. They were taken into custody and led to the cargo hold, where they would remain hidden until their arrival on Mars. As they settled in, they couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope. Their journey wasn't over yet. Mars had just recorded a 7.1 magnitude quake, the highest since humanity settled the planet. It was a sign of a potential disaster, one that could threaten the entire Martian colony and its inhabitants. At the Mars Geological Survey, researchers were deeply concerned about the recent quake that occurred in Elysium. The air was thick with tension as scientists analyzed data and debated the potential implications. Dr. Karen Halls, and Dr. Dave Brin stood near a large holographic display which depicted a detailed map of Mars' surface. They were discussing the ancient eruption that occurred around 50,000 years ago, as per their research.
Dr. Brin, the last major eruption in Elysium caused catastrophic changes to the Martian landscape.
Karen began, her voice shaky but composed.
If the current seismic activity is any indication, we might be on the brink of another eruption.
Dave nodded, his brow furrowed with concern.
The pressure buildup beneath Elysium Mons is alarming. If it erupts, the consequences could be devastating for our colony. We need to prepare for the worst.
Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled violently. The holographic display flickered, and alarms blared throughout the facility. Kieran and Dave exchanged a panicked glance.
Elysium Mons is erupting!
A voice shouted from across the room. The words sent a chill down their spines. Outside, the Martian landscape was engulfed in chaos. Massive plumes of ash and smoke billowed into the sky as molten lava began to spew from the volcano. The once calm and serene Elysium region had transformed into a nightmarish scene of destruction. Karen grabbed Dave's arm, her voice urgent.
We need to inform the colony leadership immediately. They must initiate evacuation protocols.
Dave nodded and quickly activated his communication device.
This is Dr. Brin at the Mars Geological Survey. Elysium Mons has erupted. I repeat, Elysium Mons has erupted. We need immediate evacuation of all personnel and residents in the vicinity.
As the message was relayed, chaos ensued within the colony. People scrambled to gather their belongings and head to the designated evacuation points. The sky darkened with ash, and the ground shook with relentless aftershocks. Back at the Geological Survey, Karen and Dave continued to monitor the eruption, their faces grim. As they worked tirelessly, the magnitude of the disaster became clear. The eruption was a stark reminder of the planet's volatile nature and the challenges of living on a world still geologically active. Hours passed, and the situation remained dire, but amidst the chaos, there was a glimmer of hope. The colony's emergency protocols were working, and the evacuation was underway. Karen glanced at Dave, her eyes filled with resolve.
We'll get through this. We have to.
Dave nodded, sharing her determination.
For the sake of everyone here, we will.
Aboard the incoming spaceplane, Jean and Simon remained blissfully unaware of the chaos unfolding on Mars. They were still grappling with their own adventures, focusing on survival and the challenges they had faced so far.